Welcome to the 2017 NAIA Baseball National Championship Opening Round Selection Show. I'm your host, Alan Grossbach, coming to you from the NAIA headquarters in downtown Kansas City, Missouri. During our show today, I will present the 45 teams and pairings for the 9 National Championship Opening Rounds, which play out May 15th through the 18th at various host sites across the country. The format is a 5-team double elimination tournament, with each of the 9 champions joining host Lewis Clark State at the 61st Annual A-Vista NAIA World Series at Harris Field in Lewiston, Idaho. This year's series plays out May 26th through June 2nd. Now let's quickly explain how teams qualify for the event. There are 2 ways a team can make the championship field. They can automatically qualify as a conference regular season champion, tournament champion, or tournament runner-up, depending on the conference. Leagues with 10 or more schools receive 2 automatic berths, while conferences with less get 1. The other qualification method is by receiving an at-large berth. These are decided by the NAIA Baseball Selection Committee. The committee consists of representatives from each of the 5 geographic areas, 3 at-large members, the NAIA ABCA president, and a rep from the National Administrative Council's Rules and Ratings Committee. This group has been compiling information and evaluating teams throughout the season in order to select and seed the best 45 teams. Something else to mention is that each opening round has a bracket name that refers to the host location. Now that you know how teams have qualified, let's jump into the teams and brackets for the 2017 NAIA Baseball National Championship Opening Round. So we kick things off by taking a look at the BARTLESVILLE bracket, which is hosted by Oklahoma Wesleyan University. Our 4-5 matchup sees Great Plains Athletic Conference Tournament champion Midland, the 4 seed, play the 5th seed St. Ambrose out of the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. Our 2-3 contest is a pair of at-large teams, as number 2 Indiana Tech will face number 3 Bryan. And our number 1 seed, which will see the winner of the 4-5 matchup, is host school Oklahoma Wesleyan, the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference regular season champion. In the Bellevue bracket, hosted by Bellevue University, the 4-5 contest sees the California Pacific Athletic Conference regular season champion Antelope Valley play the number 5 seed Judson out of the Chicagoland Collegiate Athletic Conference. They won the regular season title in that league. The 2-3 game is number 2 Science and Arts out of Oklahoma. They were an at-large out of the Sooner Athletic Conference, squaring off against number 3 Davenport, the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference tournament runner-up. And our number 1 seed in the Bellevue bracket is Bellevue University. They were the North Star Athletic Association regular season champion. On to the Hattiesburg bracket, hosted by William Carey University. 4-5 contest in this bracket sees number 4 Lion, the American Midwest Conference tournament champion, facing off against the Red River Athletic Conference regular season champion LSU Alexandria. Our 2-3 game is the number 2 seed Texas Wesleyan, an at-large out of the Sooner Athletic Conference, facing off against the hosts, number 3 William Carey. They also got in as an at-large. The number 1 seed in the Hattiesburg bracket is Southeastern University. They won the Sun Conference tournament title and will await the winner of Lion and LSU Alexandria in Game 3. The Hutchinson bracket, hosted by Tabor College, sees number 4 Jamestown, an at-large of the North Star Athletic Association, squaring off against number 5 Concordia, Nebraska, the Great Plains Athletic Conference regular season champion, in Game 1. Game 2 is the number 2 seed Missouri Baptist, the American Midwest Conference tournament runner-up, playing the hosts Tabor College. They got in as the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference tournament runner-up. The number 1 seed in the Hutchinson bracket is Clark out of the Heart of America Athletic Conference. They finished as runner-up in that league's tournament championship. Looking now at the Kingsport bracket, which is hosted by the Kingsport Convention and Visitors Bureau and the Appalachian Athletic Conference. 4-5 contest in this bracket is number 4 Talladega. They were tournament runners-up in the AII tournament, which finished earlier this week. They'll play number 5 Marian University out of the Crossroads League, who also finished runner-up in their respective conference tournament. The 2-3 game is number 2 Tennessee Wesleyan out of the Appalachian Athletic Conference, squaring off against number 3 IU Southeast. They were an at-large out of the River States Conference. Number 1 seed in the Kingsport bracket is Kaiser University. They were an at-large out of the Sun Conference after finishing 2nd to Southeastern University, who, as we mentioned earlier, is the number 1 seed in the Hattiesburg bracket. The Lawrenceville bracket, hosted by Georgia Gwinnett, sees number 4 the Masters, the Golden State Athletic Conference Tournament champion, facing LSU Shreveport out of the Red River Athletic Conference. They won that league's tournament title in the first game in Lawrenceville. Game 2 is number 2 Weber International, an at-large out of the Sun Conference, going up against number 3 Central Methodist, an at-large out of the Heart of America Athletic Conference. The top seed in Lawrenceville is the hosts, Georgia Gwinnett. They won the AII tournament title. Now looking at the Lima bracket, which is hosted by the University of Northwestern Ohio. The 4-5 matchup in this opening round sees number 4 Mid-America Nazarene, the Heart of America Athletic Conference tournament champion, face off against number 5 Midway, the River States Conference tournament champion. The 2-3 contest sees 2 at-large teams. Number 2, Middle Georgia State, an at-large out of the Southern States Athletic Conference, playing number 3, Hope International, an at-large out of the Golden State Athletic Conference. Our top seed in the Lima bracket is the University of Northwestern Ohio, or hosts. They won the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference regular season title and tournament championship. The Montgomery bracket, hosted by Faulkner University, has a 4-5 matchup that pits Cumberlands out of Kentucky. They were the Mid-South Conference tournament champion, against Truett McConnell, the Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament runner-up. The number 2 seed in the Montgomery bracket is St. Thomas, an at-large out of the Sun Conference. They play the number 3 seed, Huntington, out of the Crossroads League. Huntington won the league's regular season and tournament championships. Our top seed in the Montgomery bracket is Faulkner University. They were the Southern States Athletic Conference tournament champion, and like I mentioned earlier, are hosts of this bracket. Our 9th and final bracket is the Oklahoma City bracket, which is hosted by Oklahoma City University. The 4 seed, Friends University, and at-large of the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference, will square off against the number 5 seed, College of Idaho, the NAIA West Group tournament champion, in Game 1. Game 2 in Oklahoma City sees the 2nd-seeded Mayville State, the North Star Athletic Association tournament champion, play an at-large out of the Mid-South in Campbellsville, the 3 seed. And finally, last but not least, our top seed in the Oklahoma City bracket is host Oklahoma City University. They won the Sooner Athletic Conference tournament championship. That puts a wrap on today's show. But one last reminder, the World Series bracket will be announced on May 19th on NAIA.org. On behalf of everyone at the NAIA, I want to congratulate the schools, players, and coaches on a great season. For more information on the Baseball National Championship and the World Series, visit the National Championship page on NAIA.org or follow on our Twitter account at NAIA. I also want to say a quick thank you to producer-director Ephraim Durand. Have a good afternoon.